Hi, I'm here today with Shawn Black from Couture Black Photography. Shawn, welcome. Thanks so much for having a chat with me today.
Thank you
Um,
so much for having me.
yeah, no, it's really great. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about boudoir photography, running a business in 2025, what other things you've got going on in the next couple of months, because I think you've got some pretty exciting things happening, haven't you?
Oh yeah, now that we are into the fourth quarter, it is one, the sort of rush period for Boudoir because Christmas gifts and the
Right.
very quick turn to Valentine's Day.
Ah,
Um,
yes.
Everyone forgets that it pretty much everything for Christmas has already been shot. I'm shooting Valentine's Day now because labs close down for their Christmas rush and are usually shut down for a couple of weeks right around that Christmas period. So coming out of that, you can't be waiting for your Valentine's stuff. You're going to be scheduling all of that stuff in advance because usually for good quality labs, turnaround time is usually around that 2 week time frame.
Okay.
Um,
That's not bad,
because
actually.
it's not too bad. But right now, and especially at these times of the years, you have to be worried about holiday shipping, slowing things
Hmm.
down. And where my album company is located in Portugal,
Really? No way. That's near me.
yep, I use Floricolor out of Portugal and
Oh,
have for the
cool.
past 8 years, almost 9 years now. And the international shipping around the holidays slows down a little bit. And then with all of the new tariff things going on in the US with our
Mm.
current administration,
Yeah, interesting.
we have seen a little bit of shift in how customs slows down a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, it's a
So you have
little
to,
bit less predictable, right?
yeah, it's not the, okay, I put my order in, I know it's going to take this long. It's going to take
Hmm.
maybe one day in customs tops and then get to me the next day. Now it's changed up a little bit and it's not quite as predictable.
Okay,
So
that's interesting. Yeah, I was going to ask you actually, but so you presumably you are doing print products still, not just
yes, it
digital.
is. I'm one of the photographers that believes photos are meant to be printed.
Uh-huh.
It's something that when I first started out as a full-time pro over 15 years ago, I remember I started delivering things, my digitals on a either CD or
Hmm.
DVD drive. Then it was like, okay, that's gone away, and now I'm onto the USB drive, and now that's starting to phase out. And I hate just the digital download. It doesn't feel
Yeah,
I like
it's
giving a
so
tangible
true.
thing. So Photo Flash Drive came out with the dual drive where it flips, so it's a USB-A or a USB-C.
Okay.
So you can still give that tangible drive away. But for me, that whole sort of path of, yeah, everything's moving towards download. Like you look at when was the last time you bought a DVD to watch at home or have? No, we stream everything or we download everything. So that's where photo delivery's going.
Yeah,
And
but there's no
print
longevity, right?
is always there. If you
Yeah.
keep a print in good condition and out of sunlight and dry, 100 years from now, you can pick that print up and look
Hmm.
at the photo.
Yeah.
100 years from now, you're going to pick up a DVD or USB or whatever the next thing is.
Hmm.
It's not going to work. I'm like, now we're
Yeah.
going through technology every 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're that generation where we've gone from
Yeah.
like LPs to cassettes.
Oh God, yeah.
It was
We're the
CDs,
generation that got
MP3s.
screwed. Every 10 years, we have to rebuy our music collection.
Yeah, it's like no.
And
I hardly
now
listen to any of it now as well because of it. It's such a shame. So
it's
like,
nuts
yeah.
that I have to now have a Spotify subscription to get everything that I have, so I don't have to rebuy it in some format or whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's also shared with my kids, so there'll be points I'm in my car, I'm listening to 1980s hair bands or something, and then all of a sudden I've got K-pop streaming into my car because they took over the account and didn't go onto their own account and
Nice.
stole mine. I'm like, oh God, no.
So do you think having those non-digital, like physical, tangible products, does that have a big impact on the client experience in your mind?
It it's a huge difference.
Hmm.
Because coming into the photography world, like I said, I started out 15 years ago and I was more in the wedding genre.
Okay.
And I saw photographers who were just delivering digital drive, and I'm like,
Hmm.
how is that like capturing the experience for them to relive over and over and share it together and sit
Hmm.
down on their anniversary and open up their wedding album and go through like yes, I love digitals. I love the instant gratification of them. I love the fact that now that they're on our phones, this is the new
Yeah.
wallet size
Uh-huh.
type of thing. And I love them for that fact, but for engaging all the senses, because like you pick up an album, it's got weight to it, it's got
Hmm.
that feel to it, and you're engaging more than just the one sense. And then the other factor of like, I know looking back at like my grandparents' photo albums and stuff, over the years, they gain a scent to them, and you pick them up, and there's that aged sort of
Yeah, it's true.
aroma or whatever that
There
just
is
can
something
spark
special, right?
nostalgia.
Hmm.
And
So, in regards to boudoir photography, do you think there is that same kind of thing? Because obviously it's a little bit slightly different subject matter. Are we really going to be wanting to pass these types of photos onto our grandchildren? Maybe, I don't
well,
know.
actually, it's funny that you bring that up because I have had numerous clients that have come in, and the reason why they're doing their session is they've seen their mom's album or their grandmother's
Oh,
album,
really? That's so
and
cool.
they were inspired, or they're like, "Oh my God, wow, look at my grandmother. She was absolutely
Like
stunning."
smoking. Yeah.
And just all of those things. So yeah, it is
That's
something that
awesome.
where if you bring your children up properly and expose them to the fact that the human body is not something to be
Yeah,
shamed and
exactly.
not something to be ashamed of,
Uh-huh.
then yeah, it is something that I think can be inspiring down the road and that you should be sharing. I'm like, I've got a daughter who tomorrow will be 13. I'm like,
Oh,
oh my
no
God, next week. I'm like,
way.
no, it's not next week,
Wow.
it's tomorrow.
My
So I
goodness.
have a teenager coming tomorrow,
Wow.
and
Is she your oldest? Yeah.
she is my oldest, and
Yeah.
I have a son who's 9.5.
Oh,
And we've never hidden what we do for a living.
that's great.
They see the photos that we produce. They're obviously at our studio
Yeah.
from time to time, and
Hmm.
it's not like we walk in and cover their eyes and say, "Okay, no, don't look."
Yeah, exactly. I
No.
think that's really, really refreshing, actually, especially considering some parts of your, the US can be a little bit more conservative.
Oh yeah,
But I think it's really important to have that understanding and delineation, and what you're doing is not,
no, there's nothing wrong with it. It's
hmm
not taboo. It's not pornography.
no, it's
It's not
not seedy,
erotica.
it's not, no.
True boudoir photography is about empowerment and it is
Hmm.
art.
Yeah,
Um, and
completely.
it is not scandalous. And I'm like, in
Uh-huh.
fact, 95% of my work and the images that I produce are probably G-rated
Right.
because they're not showing anything. Like, yes, I
Exactly.
obviously shoot fine art nudes and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's interesting because living in Spain, you go to the beach and everybody's practically naked, It's not a
whereas
big
over in the
deal.
US, it's
Nobody
like, oh my
cares.
God, cover up.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
It's a very big cultural
yeah,
difference. So you said you got started in weddings. Can you go back and tell me a little bit about how you got started in the boudoir direction?
So the way that I went from weddings into boudoir happened sort of organically, where I was shooting weddings and I had brides asking me like, "Oh, I want to do a boudoir session. You do that?"
Ah,
And I'm like, "Oh
cool.
no, I don't do that." And I'm referring them out to other
Uh-huh.
photographers that I knew. And then eventually it hit me one day. I'm sitting there. I'm like, "Why am I sending this money elsewhere?
Right.
This is another income stream that I'm
Hmm.
passing to someone else." And so I started doing all my research into boudoir and educating
Okay.
myself and buying all the books. And at the time, there wasn't a lot out there. This was back in the 2010 time frame. I'm
Oh,
like, boudoir was
interesting.
a
So not
thing.
that I'm showing my age here, not that long ago.
Yeah. So it was like the big names at the time were like Krista Miola in New
Okay,
York. And so it's like I got her books and anything I could, and I stumbled across AIBP, the Association of International Boudoir Photographers,
hmm
which was an amazing resource for me because it was really the only one out there on social media and
cool.
Facebook and sort of that online learning and community. And I delved into all of that. I did a bunch of portfolio shoots and practice shoots, and
Hmm.
then I launched my brand out of that with sort of brides as my main focus.
Oh,
And
cool.
originally, it was all about him or whoever the photos were being given to. And
Oh,
then
okay. So the male gaze, right? Yeah,
it was a gift. It wasn't about her because
that's
it was all brought to
interesting.
me in that beginning thing and not really being into the boudoir world yet.
Hmm.
I didn't understand it until very shortly thereafter, probably about a month or two into it. I got my first non-bridal clients, and that's when
Okay.
my whole brand, my whole thinking,
Yeah.
and my whole philosophy of how I approach a shoot changed because I realized, especially in the US, our society, our culture, our media is so fucked up. And they're constantly going and putting this message on you. If your body is shameful, if you're a woman, you can't do this if you're this age, if you're this size, you're not
Hmm.
sexy. All of
Exactly.
this, and it's bullshit.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's not just where you live either. I would say it's worldwide.
and it's probably amplified in the US a little bit more because we
Hmm.
have all of these messages of you can't do this, you can't do that,
Yeah.
da da da. Da. But it's like, oh, we got to sell cars. Go put a chick in a bikini on the hood of a car on Sunday. We we decry the human, especially female body, but we sell with sex.
Yeah.
It's a really messed up message
It's a
that we
double,
have.
very, yeah, I would
So
agree. That's so interesting.
this sort of philosophy flip and everything also coincided with the fact of I had um I've been married for about two, almost 3 years at this point,
Hmm.
and we just had my aforementioned soon to be teenage daughter tomorrow.
Cool.
So I don't ever want my wife or my daughter to not feel beautiful or
Oh.
powerful or strong. And so that flipped my message and my whole thought process into how I approach boudoir because I want every woman that I shoot to feel
Hmm.
amazing and to see themselves either as they've never seen themselves or
Uh-huh.
if they haven't in quite some time because
Yeah.
life has put all of this stuff on them.
Hmm.
And I sort of came up at with an analogy of how we go about what we do. I was at a conference sitting having drinks with a friend, and they were asking because they're not in the boudoir genre, and I said, "Well, imagine my client is like a penny. They come out bright, shiny, new out of the mint, everything. It's like, yep, it's worth this, da da da. But what happens with the penny? Penny gets put in
Yeah.
the pocket, and it's never taken out to pay with first. Penny is never
Uh-huh.
the first thing out, so it continues to get scratched and tarnished, and it's always left there. So what we do when you come in as that penny that's all beat up and tarnished, we bring you right back and show you that nope, you're still this bright, shiny penny, but we
Oh.
remind you you've always had that same worth the entire time.
Yes.
Nothing has changed about you. And meanwhile, we're a couple martinis deep at this point, and my friend's like,
That's so beautiful, though.
"That
It
is
really is
brilliant."
nice. Yeah,
And I'm
that's
like,
so great.
and that's what we do with whether it's a male or female client or a
Uh-huh.
couple coming in
Yeah.
or um, trans client or whatnot,
Hmm.
whoever it may be, because we shoot everyone at our studio.
Yeah, and
We
that's really
believe
important, isn't it? I
that there
think.
is one requirement in order to do a boudoir session. Do you have a body? If you have a body, you can do a boudoir session. If you do
Awesome.
not, it complicates things. But that's it. I'm like,
That's
I
so
have
great.
my age range is 21, because
Uh-huh.
yes, you could shoot
Yeah, of course.
18, but I'm like, I would rather stay at that 21 age range just for my
Uh-huh.
own
That's fair.
um, sort of
Yeah. Yeah,
philosophy
it
about what I
covers you a
shoot.
little bit as well, doesn't it, then, I
And
guess.
yes, and then right now, currently, my oldest client has been 74.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Um, and the the cool thing is to see the range in between and they all feel the same when they leave. It
That's
doesn't
great.
matter what size they are, what shape they
Uh-huh.
are, what age they are. It's not my job to make them all look the same.
No.
It's to make them all feel the same about how they look.
And
And
that's so great to hear that because, as a male photographer in this field, presumably there are challenges unique to that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
so as a male, There are, I wouldn't say necessarily challenges, there are speed bumps.
Okay.
And more so when you're first starting out. Um,
Right. Yes, I would think once you've established and you've got a good
yes.
reputation. Yeah,
And
of course.
I may say in the beginning, for most photographers, if they're starting out into boudoir as their first genre from nothing, it may be more of hurdles. But for me, it was more speed bumps because I
Hmm.
came from the wedding world where I already had
Yeah,
an
of course.
award-winning established brand. So I had trust built into my brand already.
Yeah.
And a lot of my clients came from my weddings, whether they be brides that are looking for gifts or I marketed to the bridal party. I
Hmm.
wanted the bridesmaids. I wanted the mother of the bride and the mother of the
Oh, that's
groom.
cool.
So that's where a lot of my first clients were coming from was not necessarily the bride, but the people that were exposed to me and then followed my brand and realized, oh, he does boudoir as well.
Uh-huh.
So I already had that trust factor because they've met me at the wedding, they've seen
Yeah.
me work, they've seen my images from the wedding side of things. So there was
Hmm.
not those hurdles that I had to overcome.
Yeah.
It
And that's
was
actually a brilliant business model.
and it works. It's something, if you
Yeah.
can come from an already established brand of trust and respect,
Hmm.
it's a lot easier to work into the boudoir realm.
Right.
And
Because
the
so much
thing,
of it is about trust, right?
yes, because, and it's not even like, oh my God, he's going to murder me or anything like that. It's the trust to be vulnerable with someone.
Exactly. I mean, I
Is,
think even just normal portraiture, you feel as, I had a friend of mine, photographer, took my pictures in July, and I was just like, God, I feel naked. It's just like I wasn't,
yeah.
obviously. Like,
And
so
that's the
I
thing is,
imagine that's even more so with boudoir photography.
yeah, everyone, like most people are uncomfortable getting their picture taken to begin
Yeah,
with. Like you
exactly.
just said, doing that in your underwear or less
Uh-huh.
is even more nerve-wracking. So you need to be able to put people at ease
Yeah.
very quickly. And a lot of that is your personality. A lot of that is
Uh-huh.
how you've built your brand. A
Hmm.
lot of it is the fact that you have to take away all of the fear trust issues
Yeah.
and then put in the, okay, now I'm working on you just trusting me with your vulnerability and
Uh-huh.
being true to who you are within that shoot and not like, okay, like in traditional portraiture, you end up with a cheese face, like my 9-year-old whenever we take his photo.
Yeah, it's so true.
And that's the thing. I'm like, you can get that and make a business of it, but you're never going to have that client experience where people are coming back
Yeah.
over and over and over again,
And
or
do you let the clients sort of direct what the direction they want to go in with the shoots, or do you kind of lead them, or is it sort of a collaborative process?
so it's a collaboration before the session.
Okay,
Like
that
we
makes sense. Yeah.
It starts out with a pre-session questionnaire where we ask them a whole host of questions of why they're doing
Uh-huh.
it. Is this for a gift? What do you love about your body most? What do you not love as much about your
Okay.
body? Like all of these things so that I can start to get the general picture. Then we
Hmm.
do either an in-person or a Zoom consultation
Okay.
where we talk just candidly about themselves, guide them to the right
Hmm.
lingerie because a lot of women have never worn lingerie in their lives,
Right.
or it's been ages and they don't know where to buy for whatever their new body shape may
Hmm.
be. So we guide them through that. We're experts
Cool.
in what we do. I have probably forgotten more about lingerie than most women actually know
Yeah, probably.
because I have made it. This is my job and my career, so I've made myself an expert in
Uh-huh.
all aspects of it because the last thing that's going to gain you trust is if they're asking you something and you're like, I don't know, it's the thing that holds your boobs. I'm like, no, it's a bra or a basque or a Merry Widow, and you're able to say this is the difference between this and why it's going to
Excellent.
flatter your body type and
Oh, that's
with
so good.
authority.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
well, just like any photography, people photography,
exactly.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. It's no
like it's
different.
nuts. My inbox every morning is like all the ads from like every lingerie company and just seeing what's out there and all of those things because this is what I do for a career. It's
Yeah.
not anything strange. So I'm like, I want to know what current trends are and these
Hmm.
different things and where to shop and what looks good. So I immerse myself in it. But then once we're into the studio, They're in the hands of my makeup artist where they
Okay.
get pampered, full glam.
Great.
They collaborate on what they like for their look there. My makeup artist knows what she needs to do as far as what's going to look good
Yeah.
shooting with
Hmm.
my style, and she'll
Yeah.
incorporate what they like in. And then once they're actually in the studio in front of the camera, I direct them all the way down to their fingertips. It is like a
Oh, cool.
supermodel photo shoot.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. I'm sure that really inspires a lot of confidence as well, you know.
It is.
So,
And we show the
sorry.
back of camera so that throughout
Oh, cool.
they're
Yeah.
getting those little teasers,
Hmm.
and they're also like, "Oh my God, that's not me," or whatever. And I'm like, "There's no elves in my camera. Like that's what you look
Yeah.
like right now. That's not Photoshop. That's not anything. That
Yeah.
is you."
That's one of the
And
magic kind of things about photography, isn't it? I think it's great.
it is amazing to see the reactions and the confidence
Yeah.
built throughout a session.
That's so cool. So presumably then, I find that quite interesting that you're very much client forward in, you know, you're thinking the whole time about what will make them more confident and feel really good. So does that kind of mean then that the male versus female gaze is sort of, it's not that important because you're sort of trying to put yourself in the client's position, I guess, right?
It's one of the things that certain photographers just their own psyche and how they go approach things,
Uh-huh.
they completely shoot with a male gaze. I
Yeah.
shoot with sort of, I'd say, a hybrid gaze
Okay. Because
where
there you can definitely tell, you know, there's definitely a difference I've found.
it's a lot of the things that I'm shooting to flatter their body, to craft
Hmm.
the light, to pose their body so that I'm not photoshopping things. I'm like,
Yeah.
I create shape with their body not because I'm liquefying it after the fact.
Yeah.
It's because I'm posing their body, shooting from
Exactly.
an angle
Yeah.
and lighting from another angle that is going to create the shape and
Hmm.
shadow and draw your eye to where I want it to go and tell the story through that frame with light and
Yeah.
shadow.
And do you find different ages have different, slightly different approaches as well to, you know,
Um,
as women get older?
it's more so when in sort of the pre-consult time where there's a
Hmm.
little bit of a difference because they come in with this mindset that they can't do all the things.
Okay.
And it's letting them know, I'm like, I'm going to pose you just like someone from their
Yeah.
20s, 30s, 40s, whatever,
Cool.
until you say you can't do something. And then I'm going to figure out a way to adapt it and create something unique for you that's close to that pose or is going to work with that. But no, I don't sit there with a preconceived set of limitations for anyone. I'm gonna go and we're gonna try it until you can't do something. Like I have a
Cool.
client that I've shot 3 times. She has two steel rods the entire length of her spine.
Wow.
So
Okay.
she's obviously not very flexible. And
Yeah.
one of the classic poses of like lying on your stomach and shooting down the body, so it's sort of a
Ah,
booty
yes.
pose hurts her a lot because
Hmm.
just that little arch of the pelvis,
Yeah.
she
That's going to be
really
hard.
taxes her muscles. And she's like, no, I want this shot. And she's like, can you modify it a little bit? So, and I'm like, yep, we worked it. We figured out an angle and a
Oh,
way to
that's
do
so
it. And
cool.
then she, Brendan bared it on her own. She's like, nope, I want this shot because it looks amazing. And
Wow.
so we
Oh,
did
that's
that and
awesome.
we figure out where your limitations are. And I always say, I'm going to shoot until you tell me to stop
Yeah.
because a lot of times in building the pose, you might start shaking, but there's
Oh,
still
I
one
see.
last little bit that I got to get. And it's that last bit that the shake doesn't matter because I'm capturing a fraction of a second. I'm not
Exactly.
going to see the shake.
Oh my
But
goodness.
if I stop
So it's a
you,
full workout. It's not just a
oh
photo
God,
shoot.
yeah, we tell people as our part of our pre-session stuff, do not work out the day of your session. You will
Right.
get plenty of a workout during.
Amazing.
And it's those things that if I said, okay, yeah, you're shaking, stop, we'll start the pose again. By the time we get to that, she's going to be shaking again. So we just need to push through unless she can't, or he can't,
Uh-huh.
or they can't to get to that and then snap. Okay, now relax.
That's so
Um,
cool. That's really cool. So how have you seen the boudoir photography industry evolve in the past like 5 to 10 years? Presumably with, you know, we've got more AI influences now. We've got social media with like clamping down on censorship, all sorts of different things. How is that impacting you?
so there's sort of twofold. I'll talk about the technology evolution
Okay.
secondary, but from when I got into Boudoir to where it is now, first off, it is exploded as
Okay.
far as the number of photographers within the genre.
Right.
The recognition that we're getting is growing
Hmm.
slowly, and part of that is things through AIBP,
Yeah.
which
Which you're
was
now in charge
great
of,
as
is
when I
that
was
right?
a member of it and have since acquired the whole association, which
Excellent.
it meant that much to me, but we'll get into that later. But it's through advocacy, the conferences and more education has evolved. But through the years, there's been a muddying as to what boudoir is,
Okay.
because as more photographers came into it and some other groups pushed in with erotica and um, things like that, they were, because boudoir was the popular term and hashtag, started
Uh-huh.
like hashtagging erotica as boudoir.
Oh, I see.
Social
So
media
what
platforms
what would you
took
say is the
this and looked at
difference then?
those. Yeah,
Okay.
it's so there's been a negative effect by that, and that's part of the reason why there's shadow bans and the
Right.
hashtags of boudoir
Yeah.
being banned, and a
Makes
lot harder
sense.
for us to advertise on social platforms and
Okay.
things like that
Hmm.
because of that muddying of the waters.
Yeah.
And it's erotica is a amazing art form in and of itself, but it is not boudoir, and it should not be labeled
Okay.
as a boudoir. I'm like, yeah, boudoir photographers shoot erotica,
Okay.
but they don't necessarily have to label it the same way, and they might have separate brands for it, just like my wedding
Okay.
brand is separate from my boudoir brand.
Yeah. What's the
Um,
difference then? Can you sort of explain? Because not everybody might
um,
be aware of the difference.
Erotica is a lot more sexual in nature.
Okay.
It is, you are showing genitalia a
Okay.
lot of times in it, whereas, and it may be genitalia focused or
Okay.
whatnot.
Hmm.
It is not necessarily um, it's not pornography. It is
Okay.
an art form in and of itself. It's
Hmm.
not about the act of sex necessarily,
Okay.
but it is more of the could incorporate BDSM and
Oh,
stuff
I
like
see.
that.
Okay. Right.
Um,
So presumably the boundaries are a bit blurred anyway, right?
it
Between all
is,
these things.
and that's the tough thing
Yeah.
is there's no definitive definition about what
Hmm.
boudoir is, because there'll be the people out there that say, "Oh, the stuff that I shoot in the desert, that's not boudoir because it's not captured in a bedroom." There's numerous arguments
Yeah.
as to what it is. I'm like, yeah, the pure definition of it is boudoir, meaning woman's dressing room or whatnot.
Hmm.
But it is, as it evolved into an art form, it has become a very blurred
Yeah.
sort of definition as to what it is. But
Okay.
the biggest way sort of to tell the difference between boudoir, erotica, and pornography sort of goes back. I don't know who said it, but it's the famous quote. It's like, oh yeah, what is pornography? It's like, I don't know how to define it, but you know it when you see it. And that's sort of that delineation of like, when you see erotica, you're going to know it's erotica. When you see
Yeah. Okay.
pornography, you know it's
Hmm.
pornography. When you see boudoir, it's going to be obviously the tamest of all of that.
Yeah.
And then the spectrum within boudoir is like, yeah, you can have lifestyle where it's the client just basically moving in and of themselves. It's very organic,
Hmm.
to the more glamour end of the spectrum,
Yeah.
how I shoot, where it's very
Hmm.
directed and very posed, and it's more of that polished supermodel look
Yeah.
where, yeah, you still have their skin and texture and all that, and they look like real people,
Hmm.
but they're being guided towards like the lingerie that's going to work and fit for this, whereas um, more of the lifestyle stuff is generally shot more natural light, and again, that sort of organic, they're moving. It's not dynamic posing and lighting like I do, uh,
Okay.
for the most part.
Cool. That's really interesting. So what role has the Association of International Boudoir Photographers played then, certainly in your life recently and in general?
So, as I said, it's been around since 2009 when it was originally
Okay. Yeah.
founded. I joined back in, I think it was 2012 was my first
Hmm.
year. And as a member, it was essential in my education in helping me find other boudoir photographers that basically became my tribe. The
Oh, that's cool.
My
Yeah, so you've got like
oldest
a community.
bestie in the photography world, as far as boudoir is concerned,
Hmm.
is a photographer out of New York, Kate Scaglione. She is the one who shot me first. She's someone we've been connected for 13 years. We met each other for the first time 10 years ago at the very first AIBP retreat out in
Oh, that's
LA,
cool.
which is where she shot me. On the very last day of the retreat, as everyone's leaving, I'm laying in a bed with a sheet barely covering me, and everyone's sticking their head in. See you later. I'm like, bye. But it's finding those people that, like, I talk to Kate daily, and if I've
Uh-huh.
got a question or I need to bounce something off of someone other than my wife Michelle, who's my
Hmm.
studio manager, and my other set
Cool.
of eyes, she's that technical person that I can go to and say, okay, I've gone blind to this image, but I know there's something missing in it. Can you look at it for me? And we push each other.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah,
Better
that's
to
super valuable.
it's an amazing relationship, and there's so many others in the industry that are like
Uh-huh.
that I've made connections through by being a member of AIBP,
Hmm.
going to the retreats that happen yearly, and then in the late 2000 teens, the previous ownership started to let the association go by the wayside, and
Okay.
then COVID hit, and they really
Uh,
just let the reins go, and it was probably going to disappear. And I ended up stepping in 2021 and purchasing the association and
wow.
became the new owner in August of 2021.
Amazing.
And ironically, it was while I was at WPPI in Las Vegas. So I got the news where I was on a balcony in my hotel room overlooking the Vegas Strip, and my lawyer's like, the sale has gone through. And I'm like, do you have any clue where I am right now? And he's like, no. I'm on a balcony overlooking the Vegas Strip, and he's like, yeah, that's a pretty good place to get this news.
Yeah, that's
And
fair enough. Easy to
so
celebrate, right?
our first uh our first official thing is we walked the WPPI Expo floor, and everyone had just seen the press release we'd put out and all the congratulations. And so we spent our first couple of years rebuilding it from the disarray that it had sort of gotten
Hmm.
into, and now we are starting into a growth phase
That's
with
so
the
cool.
association where we're looking not only to expand our US membership,
Hmm.
but push more into Europe and more into Latin America as our two focuses. We
Okay.
already have members in 50 countries around the world,
Wow.
but I want to have large bulk memberships in Europe and Latin America.
Hmm.
One, because Latin America is so close to the US, and
Right.
two, Europe just being sort of the birthplace of boudoir.
Right.
But since acquiring it, we've sort of really gotten back to the roots of what made it amazing for me is we have
Uh-huh.
monthly educational webinars,
Oh, that's
we
great.
image competitions,
Hmm.
we have brought back the yearly retreat, which is actually coming up in the November 7th to the 10th, and we've
Yes. Where is
got
that going to be?
we're holding it in Boston in my studio.
Okay,
Since we acquired
amazing.
AIBP, we have done the retreat at my studio because I have
Uh-huh.
a 3,000 square foot studio.
Wow, no way.
Yeah, it's tiny. Uh, Funny thing is, I always still find myself in a corner saying, "I wish
Oh,
I had a
I was thinking
studio."
square meters for a minute. I was like, well, that's not tiny, but that was square feet. Okay, yeah.
Oh, square feet, it's still huge. But yeah, it's big, and so we hold it there so that you get a real live teaching environment. It's not like you're
That's
in a
amazing.
conference room and you've got the instructor saying, "Okay, imagine
Hmm.
she's on a bed." No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
studio. She's on a bed, and this is where I'm going to put the light, and this is how I'm going
That's
to pose her.
excellent. And are people able to
Um,
shoot a little bit as well?
yep,
Or yeah.
we have instruction, we have open
Hmm.
shooting hours, we have community building during it. So it's not just lecture. It's We have lectures, we have demos, we have on shooting time guided by our
Hmm.
instructors who are there.
Yep.
This year we have Roberto Valenzuela,
Oh,
uh,
nice. Yeah.
Pratik Naik,
Cool.
Andrew Heorth, Sarah Witherington,
Uh-huh.
Rachel Brenke, and I am doing a bonus day the Thursday beforehand.
Oh,
So
nice.
we always put out an amazing industry leading education platform with the educators that we bring in.
That's
And
great. And I think I mean, certainly meeting people face to face is and doing everything hands on is so much more valuable from an educational point of view, isn't it? It's just, yeah,
It's
you can't
huge.
replace that.
And the big thing for us is we we limit it to about 40 people. So it's an intimate learning
Oh, great.
environment.
Yeah, that's a nice
And
number.
the instructors are there throughout the weekend,
Hmm.
sitting in on the other classes, there for the open shooting time, so that you can
Cool.
pick these industry leaders' brains and say, what am I doing wrong, or what could I be doing better here with this, or how would you move and light this, or and the aha moments that you see happen when
Uh-huh.
you take and you move a light for someone, and
Yeah.
then they take that frame and they see it, and now they get it, and that is so incredible of a feeling as an educator, and why I educate as well as, and I'm so strong about educating as
Hmm.
much as I am being behind the camera, is to help those people come along. Like I had people bring me up and show me the
Yeah.
things. I remember at the very first AIBP retreat, one of the greatest learning experiences I've ever had was I ended up back then we the instructors had rented an Airbnb mansion. Some of the other attendees were at a hotel, other ones were at
Hmm.
another Airbnb. I managed to get myself into the instructor's Airbnb mansion to stay there. And it was after the first day of instruction. It was like midnight, and Craig Lemaire, who is absolutely an amazing photographer and now friend for God, like 10 years, he had one of the models and he was shooting her in the foyer of the mansion at like midnight. And I
Hmm.
just sat in the corner and absorbed and watched him
Oh,
work.
cool.
And the things that I've picked up just from that one time, and I always tell this story, and I've told him multiple times, like, yeah, the influence that that had on me was just, I can't put it into words of how that shaped me and changed the way that I saw things. And Craig's famous for like the laying on the ground with his lens practically at their toes and getting that big supermodel stretch with
Uh-huh.
a wide angle. And so I was shooting at the Neon Boneyard in Vegas. I want to say a few years ago, but again, dating me, I'm like, oh my God, wow, it was 7 years ago already. And I had one of the models there, and I did the shot. And I posted like a backup camera, and I'm like, and ode to Craig Lemaire. And it was one of those things that, yeah, I learned that technique that night 2 or 3 years earlier, watching him do it firsthand.
Yeah. I think
You
I
don't,
came across his work a long time ago on Facebook in a Facebook group actually and was just like blown away by it, to be honest. Yeah,
he is, he's as incredible a photographer as he is a person. I'm like,
that's
he'll
so
sit
cool.
there and tell you all the secrets to how to do it, but at the same time, he's one of those people that will tell you when you're screwing up right to your face. He's not going to sugarcoat it. But I'm like, that's great. I'm like, some people, and I appreciate that from him. Like, I
Yeah.
love that tough love approach. But yeah, he had one of the most influential like moments in my learning aspect in my journey in my career. And I'm like,
Hmm.
the other thing is like, you should never stop learning. Every time I'm at a conference, I try and stick myself into other classes that
Yeah, that's so
aren't in
true.
my genre.
Yeah. I actually did a motorsports photography course last weekend. And it's like I'm never going to become a motorsports photographer, but actually it was really fascinating. And I've already started thinking about lighting and the movement dynamic kind of things
And that's the
slightly.
thing. It's like
It's
if
so
you
good.
pull
Yeah.
something
Uh-huh.
and incorporate into what you shoot in your workflow, you're gonna
Hmm.
grow. Like I've
Exactly.
had people that they're like, "Why are you going to sit in on a wedding thing? You don't shoot weddings anymore." And I'm like, "Because Jerry Gionis is teaching it, and if you don't think
Yeah.
you can learn something from Jerry, you're an idiot."
Yeah, maybe it's time
Um,
to give up.
yeah, I'm like, I don't care where you are in your journey. The thing is, Jerry still sits in on things and picks up and learns.
Exactly. Yeah,
You should never ever stop learning or trying to be better at this. And if you think you don't need it, put your camera down and walk away.
exactly. Yeah, no, that's so great. That's so good. So presumably your international association is just going to keep building on this kind of ethos.
And it is. And the thing that we launched last year, because this is one of the biggest problems that I've seen throughout before I owned AIBP
Hmm.
and really been able to advocate for it since, was image competitions. Boudoir does
Okay.
not fare well in image competitions because
Do you think that's
one,
prejudice or
um, usually there's not true boudoir photographers as judges on the panel.
that makes
They
sense?
may
Yeah.
shoot some boudoir,
Hmm.
but they don't shoot it as their full-time
Yeah.
um, sort of genre. Or in certain competitions, just the ethos and the philosophy of it, like PPA, up until recently, it was a very old school mindset, as
Okay.
they didn't have the utmost respect for the genre or even recognize the genre, as other conferences did. They've
Okay.
made great strides, and some of that is a lot of the
Hmm.
work that I've been doing with AIBP behind the scenes to get them to realize boudoir is not porn.
Yeah.
And that's the first, like, what everyone jumps to is they think, oh, boudoir, it's scandalous. So, in specifics to the image competitions, the other thing is that you always see non-commissioned shoots as the entry. So they've gotten a model and someone who knows how to move their body and has
Hmm.
exact proportions as to what they think the perfect body is.
Okay.
Um, but I'm
That's not what
submitting
it's all about,
client
right?
work.
Yeah.
No, and the thing is, I don't really consider when you're working with a model technically true boudoir
Mm.
because there's not that empowerment aspect to it. I'm like,
Oh,
they're there doing a job.
that's super interesting,
So
actually. Yeah.
what we did last year, because I finally got sick and tired of watching my images underperform in all these other competitions, and
Just make your own.
it's
It's
because
fine.
of the fact of, oh, it's boudoir and not a model, or what a lot of things happen in most competitions is the things that win boudoir category is fine art nude. It's like
Okay.
you look at the top ones, they're all fine art nude, and I'm like, that's not technically
That's different,
boudoir.
right? Yeah.
A different category.
Hmm.
So we created and launched last year the very first AIBP Visionary Awards.
Okay.
And the way that we leveled the playing field for everyone and made these different was there's all your traditional categories. So male boudoir, female,
Okay.
non-binary, what have
Yeah.
you, about 11 different categories.
Uh-huh.
But we then took those 11 categories and we split them: commissioned work, non-commissioned work.
Oh, that's
So
good. Yeah, that's
you're
interesting,
competing
right?
against clients,
Yeah.
models.
Because you're
And
right, it's a different thing. I mean, I've normally I rarely shoot models, but when I do, I almost find it a bit boring because they're almost too slick, right?
yeah, they know how to move. Like
Exactly.
I always say to photographers that are looking to learn, especially when they're starting out, hire a professional model to work with for a practice shoot.
Hmm.
Let them move as you shoot and have a collaboration that way because you will start to learn posing because if they're a true professional that you've invested in
Hmm.
150, 200, $300 an hour, they're going to know how to move. They're going to know where their key
Yeah.
light is and what looks good.
Hmm.
You can learn from that if you don't understand lighting and posing yet
Yeah.
and absorb that. But once you know, like it's tough. Like when I teach classes and it becomes the open shooting time, I have to tell the model, I'm like, okay, I know you know what to do.
Yeah.
That's not what they're here for. They're here to learn. I want you to be the client now and
Exactly.
let them instruct you.
Yeah. Yeah,
If
because it's completely different, right?
Yeah, they need to mess up and realize why they messed up of, okay, yep, I put my arm here and I've got my key light over here, and why have I got a dark shadow on my face? Like, whereas you're gonna know that and you're gonna go like this
Yeah. Oh,
and
we've
put
all
the
been
other
there.
arm up, or it's I always tell my clients or not my clients, my students when I'm teaching, I want you guys to fuck up constantly, massively. I
Hmm.
want you to fall on your face and get back up. Learn from it, do it again, fall on
Yeah.
your face a little bit less, and evolve. Because if you
And I
get it
think,
that very
yeah,
first time, you didn't learn anything.
exactly. And different bodies can do different things as well. It's so interesting,
Yep.
isn't it? So like if you got somebody that's a little bit short-limbed, it's not going
Oh
to work
yeah.
the same.
It's
Yeah.
you can't you have to have all the tools in your toolbox. You can't just go, okay, I'm going to shoot a
Hmm.
5'8" model who's 34, 24, 34, no stretch marks, no cellulite, nothing, where basically you close your eyes, point a light at her, and release the shutter, and you're going to create something that is going to
Hmm.
be pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
Whereas, Mike, if you have an everyday woman who is in her mid 40s, has had
Hmm.
several kids, and just has 40 something years of sun on her skin,
Uh-huh.
has just starting the little bit of crow's feet at that point, doesn't have as tight a skin, necessarily all of the things, and it doesn't matter if male, female,
Yeah.
whatever, our bodies age.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you need to know and understand how light's going to affect that, how posing's going to affect
Hmm.
that. And the style that I shoot, which is very moody, very dramatic, very steep angle light, I bring out a
Oh,
lot of the
wow.
flaws.
That can really, yeah, that's so interesting
So
because
I know I'm going to
a
bring
lot
them
of
out.
advice for photographing women over 40 is like flat,
Oh yeah.
light,
But
but
the thing is, that's not going to
that's not
create
very
the body
dramatic.
shape that you want. It's not
Exactly.
dramatic.
Yeah.
So I know I'm going to bring out all of these flaws in the skin, but I'm going to take them out in retouching. And
Okay.
that's my whole philosophy as far as retouching is I'm not going to change the shape of your body. I'm not going to
Hmm.
liquefy you to give you this hourglass figure or make this bigger, that smaller, whatever.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to give you magazine quality skin.
Cool.
I'm not going to make you plastic. I'm still going to show that
Hmm.
you've got whatever age be like my
Yeah.
74-year-old client. She still has
Of
her
course.
wrinkles and
Yeah.
whatnot, but they're polished. They're
Yeah.
lessened a little bit.
Yeah.
The
I think
smile
that's
lines are
fair,
taken
right?
down.
I think we can all benefit from looking like we've had a good night's sleep. So
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like one of the biggest things in retouching that makes a world of difference and people don't realize it is the darkness under the eyes and the bags under
uh-huh.
the eyes.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I start with. And once I've lessened those, it is amazing the change in the face and
Yeah.
how much it takes an image that you're like, oh my God, I totally screwed the pooch on this shoot. And then you're like, oh wait, nope, I got to remember I'm
Yeah.
taking
I mean,
that. I
often
made it look worse
a
to
lot
take
of
it
it's
out.
just shadow, really, isn't it?
Yep.
It's not wrinkles per se. It's
No,
just
it's
shadow.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks, "Oh, you're heavily retouching." I'm like, "No, I'm just lightening the shadows that I put
Exactly.
there." And that's ultimately what sort of frequency separation is just evening out those shadow levels between the top and the lower
Hmm.
level so that it's now smooth.
Yeah.
And
Totally. So are you using any AI to help with, with the retouching at all or
oh God, yes. So like
can you talk about
my
that a little bit?
retouching journey is funny because again, I started in the wedding world and
Uh-huh.
this back
Well, that's a
15
massive
years ago.
bulk kind of
Yeah,
images. You
where
can't
you're
be
dealing with bulk.
fine-tuning everything.
Nope.
Yeah.
But again, this will also date me. The very first sort of image software that I started working
Hmm.
with was Apple's Aperture,
Oh,
which
okay. Yeah.
doesn't exist anymore. But I'm like, that was like, oh my God, it's Aperture. It's amazing. And then that faded out. And then I went into the Adobe
Okay.
workflow and Lightroom and Photoshop as I got to a point where I had more weddings and it made more sense for me to outsource my editing
Okay.
than to sit there in front of a computer. I started outsourcing my editing.
Sure.
Then when I delved into Boudoir and I was into that, it was like, okay, yep, I'm doing my own retouching to begin. And
Hmm.
then it got to that same point of, okay, it makes more sense to outsource this.
Yeah.
And then with the tools that have sprung up over the last couple of years,
Uh-huh.
with things like Aftershoot
Yeah.
originally with culling, which is every
Yeah.
photographer's probably biggest time suck. I am horrible at culling for, especially when it was weddings, with you got 4,000 images
Oh,
to
goodness.
cull down to 1,000 or whatever.
Do you know what? The procrastination would be so strong for me if I had that.
Oh, it's the same thing for me. It would take me forever. So I'm like, that was my first thing. I was like, okay, I can cull them down to this quickly now. I can go through that smaller bulk, figure out the ones that I truly love, and then I can send that out to my editor.
Cool.
And then things started happening where it's like, okay, there's AI AI editing now, and it's like, all
Uh-huh.
right, now I'm starting to bring things back in. And then the AI retouching evolution
Mm-hmm.
started. And the ironic thing is that the tool that I use now, Evoto, that is where we actually met 2 weeks
Yes, we
ago in New
did.
York at their big launch event. Um, they contacted me when they were first launching in the US, and
Uh-huh.
the person who was reaching out to me, their marketing manager at the time, her name was Eve Chan. So I
Okay.
kept getting these emails from Eve from Evoto, and I hadn't really heard of it. And I'm like, okay, it's in the Singapore. I'm like, yeah, this is total scam thing and whatever. Eve from Evoto, yeah, I believe that. And then finally, I got a call from her, and
Hmm.
I was like, wish you had done this sooner because I just kept deleting your emails thinking you were some spam, like, oh yeah, here's the prince. I have $50 million to deposit into your bank account type
No
of
way.
thing. And so I then signed in, got an account, and started using Evoto, and very quickly realized because I was paying $4 to $5 an image for retouching, and
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah.
I show my clients fully retouched images at their image reveal.
Oh,
And
great.
so
So
I'm
it's
betting
really
on the
changed your
fact.
business then, in a way,
Yeah,
right?
it is
Yeah.
one of those things that I went from, okay, I was showing less images because of the cost.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me.
Oh, no worries.
Uh, I was showing less images, which was hindering my ability to sell larger packages. And because like, okay, I'm spending $200 to $300 on retouching for a
Yeah,
session.
true. And that's not a small
And
amount.
that's before I've made any cost. So it's like my session fee
Uh-huh.
covers my makeup artist and
Mm-hmm.
overheads. And then I'm spending
Okay.
another $200 to $300 on retouching. So I'm
Yeah.
$500 into the hole, $600
Already.
into the hole before I make any money.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always had the philosophy that my work is good enough that I don't have to worry about that.
Sure.
And I've never had anyone run kicking and screaming from the studio saying, "Oh my God, I hated the experience." I've only had I've had less than 5 people not buy something, and it turned out that they were basically there for 3 of them were there for other photographers to workshop me
No way.
and give their friend, the photographer, details about how I go about my session and all of my stuff.
Ooh, that's
So
sneaky.
shady. There was no intent for them ever to
Yeah.
buy anything. And then
Okay.
the other two, just they wanted to play dress up.
Ah,
Um,
yes. Okay.
and
Yeah, just there
we
for
just we
kicks and giggles.
usually can catch them and figure
Uh-huh.
out through our pre-session and all of that,
Yeah.
but they played the part really well. And
Ah, wow.
so they
Okay.
came in, they got their photo shoot, their day of full hair and makeup, and because a lot of these people I end up connected to on Facebook or social media,
Hmm.
I found out they had they had some event later that night, so they got full glam and a photo shoot that made them feel amazing. And then they went to this event and didn't have to
Oh
pay for
man.
a makeup artist.
Wow. That's
So,
crazy. Yeah. Well, that's just unlucky, I guess.
but other than that, with well over 1,000 clients, probably closer to 2,000 clients over the
Yeah.
years, 5 out of that didn't
Yeah.
buy anything is a pretty good ratio.
That's
And I'm
pretty good.
always going to bet on
Yeah.
myself.
Hmm.
So, but
Yeah.
still, that's $500 now that I'm losing in
Yeah.
profit margin. So it was like, okay, $4 to $5 an image. And then when I'm looking into a Voto, it was 7 cents an image.
Yeah.
When I started out, I was like, okay, let's try this. And in the beginning, um, it's like with any software, when you're in on the
Hmm.
ground floor, it's good to a point. And
Yes.
the problem was because I shoot that dark and moody and that um, very steep angle where I am bringing out so much more texture,
Hmm.
it struggled a little bit with the amount of texture and the transition into the shadow areas.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah.
But
But it's
those of
evolved
us,
a lot though, hasn't it?
oh
Since,
God.
yeah.
So
I
that was
was
the
really
very
blown
first
away.
evolution.
Yeah. I haven't,
When,
I've been trying it a little bit and it's like today I did a headshot session. I invoiced and got paid and retouched and sent the images within 1 hour. And I was
Yeah.
just like mind blown.
Yeah. So
It's
it's
incredible.
in the beginning, and this is the very 1.0 Evoto 1.0. That's this. And then anyone who's used Evoto from that long back
Hmm.
realizes every time they do an update, it's like Christmas. It's not like,
Oh,
oh, they
wow.
updated
Okay.
one thing or it's a little
Yeah, it's not
bug
like
fix.
Apple.
No, it's there's an entire bunch of presents under the tree like Santa just came, and
Amazing.
at least like 10 features that they add with every
Uh-huh.
update, or they make the features better. Now, where they're at 6.0, the for every 100 images that I put through it, I probably have to take three out and fix a small patch of skin or something in a
Yeah.
shadow area down on like a leg that it
Hmm.
didn't hit
That's
properly.
incredible. Yeah. I was
So,
impressed with the culling feature as well,
oh,
honestly. So
and that's the other thing.
I'm
Now
not
it's
I'm not sponsored by Voto, by the way. So I've just been
I am
impressed.
one of their ambassadors.
Legit.
So it got to that point where not only I went from, oh yeah, Eve is a scam to no, I'm now one of their ambassadors.
Amazing.
That I believe in their product and what it has done for not only my workflow, but
Yeah.
for my profit margin
Yeah. And
without
actually,
having
you're
to.
not the only photographer I spoke to who's said that exact same thing as well, you know?
And
So yeah.
it's one of those things in this environment since COVID to now where the economy has been up and down. I've been able to increase my profit margin without raising my prices on my clients
Ah,
by
that's
using a
amazing actually,
smarter
isn't it?
tool
Yeah.
because you figure I went from $5 an image to
Hmm.
7 cents an image.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how many thousand
Kind
percent
of.
increase that was into my profit
Yeah.
margin. But now, over the course of the fact of doing $200, $300 for the retouching down to I'm
Yeah.
spending $5 for a session,
That's
and I'm
incredible.
showing
Yeah.
more images.
And honestly, you could say, oh, but what about all the retouchers losing work? But to be honest, I tried outsourcing retouching before and I ended up often having to redo quite a lot myself anyway. So it wasn't
And
for me
it's
personally. Maybe you had better experience, but it
I had
wasn't really
someone
a
that
viable option.
it was I had someone who was very good to meet my style, but
Uh-huh.
there were still those points that
Yeah.
I'd see stuff that I would want changed or whatnot,
Hmm.
but it also changed the turnaround time too. Whereas
Yes,
Evoto, like you
exactly.
said, you can go through. I'm like, yeah, mine I can't get done in an hour for the whole thing because
Yeah,
I'm
well,
working
this
a
was a
lot more
tiny
detailed
headshot
and a
session.
lot more skin than you are.
This is
You're
not
working with here to
like
here in skin.
this
I'm
wasn't this
working,
this was for LinkedIn. It wasn't even like
yeah. So it takes me, but again, the amount of time where it would take over a week for me to get images back. Yeah, if I sit down and I do an editing session, like I've got a session that I started before I jumped on with you, I'll be done with that later this afternoon.
yeah, that is
Um,
incredible. And actually, and you can't really put a price on that almost. It's like I sound like
no,
I'm an advert now for a voter. Like a voter, if you want to sponsor me.
but it's the thing is there's multiple tools out there now
Exactly.
that
Yeah, there's
are
aftershoot as well.
increasing. Like
There's loads
even
of different
just
ones.
things like in Photoshop, generative fill,
Hmm.
that
Exactly.
whole thing that you used to have to sit there. It's like, oh crap, the
Yeah.
backdrop didn't make it all the way
Well,
across.
and they've got Nano Banana now in the Gemini
Yep.
thing. So yeah, there's lots of
So
options. You're
all of these
correct.
tools, especially where everyone when AI started to come out and they're like,
Hmm.
oh my God, gloom and doom, photographers are never gonna work again. I'm like, well, first off,
Yeah.
you're never gonna replace wedding photographers with AI. You're never gonna replace
Not
boudoir photographers with
family
AI because
photographers either, I don't think, you know. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
it's most photographers you're not going to if you want if one, if it's an experience,
Hmm.
two, if it's a moment that they're capturing,
Yeah.
or if yeah, technically, yes, they can get pretty good with AI headshots now, but that's not you.
No, it's
You're
not.
not like it's
Yeah.
great. You have this beautiful looking headshot, but then you actually go to meet the people at the interview or whatever it is that
Yeah,
you're
exactly. I have
connecting
a
with, and they're
theory
like,
as well that AI stuff is almost too perfect now. So we're almost going to go back more shift towards what the film days were like, where it's like we actually celebrate those imperfections a little more and it doesn't have to be perfect. And I think that really plays into your body positivity kind of the values that
yeah,
you
and
kind
that's
of
the thing.
work
It's like
with.
sometimes it's the flaws that make us unique,
Exactly.
and it's why things like scars are very personal. And I always
Hmm.
ask in my retouching is, okay, what any scars that you have or whatever, what do you want removed? What do you want? Because I've had people where they've had a knee replacement because they flipped their mountain bike and they're like, I ripped my knee open. Can you
Yeah.
please get rid of that? It was stupid.
Yeah,
Or you've got
it's not an
someone who,
emotional kind of thing
no.
necessarily. Yeah,
Whereas I've shot women who've had breast cancer and they have their port
exactly.
scar and they're like, no, I want that left in
Yeah,
because without it, I wouldn't be here.
exactly. Yeah, it's a
So,
whole different
and
experience, isn't it?
that's again part of what separates boudoir and the
Hmm.
artistry that goes into it is understanding your client. Like we can all create pretty pictures, but I want my client to look at that picture and see something deeper and connect with it on an emotional level. Whereas everyone else looks at it like, oh my God, you look amazing. I want them, and I always use the example. I have a two-time client, she's a marathon runner, and
Uh-huh.
her second session, she's like, I want you to shoot me in a way that's both feminine and athletic. And there's
Cool.
one
Oh,
shot where I've
that's a
got her,
challenge, right?
yeah. And so there's this one shot, she's on this table and she's knees are up, back down, her body's up and her back on her hands. So it's almost like this zigzag hill thing, which one was reminiscent of to me of the Boston Marathon and the hills
Hmm.
within it. So that's first thing.
Cool.
Second is she's wearing this sort of white, not crochet, but almost look crochet type covering on top. So you don't
Hmm.
see a lot of her top. You see her curves, but you see her legs that are completely bare.
Right.
And you can see the musculature in her legs.
Uh-huh.
And when she saw the image, she absolutely loved it. She's got it in a big 24 by 36-inch print. And I said, what does this say to you that no one else is going to see in it? And she's
Hmm.
like, when I look at this, I see the mornings that I get up at 4 in the morning to go
Oh,
run 15, 20 miles in the rain or cold weather. I see right on Hereford, left on Boylston, which are the last two turns of the Boston Marathon before you
huh.
sprint to the finish.
No way.
So it's those things that connect in what I strive for in my work is, yeah, I don't need to know a thing about you, and I could still make you look amazing and create a pretty picture.
Yeah.
But knowing
It's
that deeper drive and all of that is what really makes it artwork and connects that subject with their pieces.
oh
And that's my whole drive as and philosophy as a photographer. No matter what genre that I'm shooting, is I want you as the subject to connect deeper with it than anyone else will.
yeah, that's so beautiful. And yeah, that's amazing. And I think you're doing something really valuable actually, just for, people's mental health and body positivity and everything. It's so great. Listen, Shawn, thank you so, so much for talking to me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Where can people find your work and learn more about the association?
So, me personally, you can find my boudoir work at coutureblack.com.
Okay.
Um,
We'll
on
put
Instagram, it's
links.
Couture Black Photo.
Okay.
Um, and then for AIBP, it's AIBP Photog, only one P though, um, for Instagram, Facebook, and then it's AIBPphotog.com for the website, which has the links to our retreat, which is coming up in a month, the Visionary Awards, which is launching its second year, actually, I believe it's the third week of this month, October,
Okay.
and it is open to anyone. You don't have to be an AIBP
Great.
member. It is an international photo competition that I
Fantastic.
highly recommend if you shoot anything in the boudoir genre or more intimate portraiture.
Hmm.
Take a look at it because, like I said, it is a photo competition unlike anyone else has put out there before. The WPPIs, the societies, or PPAs and stuff like that. And it's
Perfect.
something we're very proud of. Last year, in our inaugural year, we had over 1,000 different photographers enter.
Oh, that's
Um,
excellent. When's the closing date for that?
Closing date on it will be the last day of November. I'm not sure.
Okay,
Is it
so
November
that's
is 30
time.
days?
Yeah, excellent.
Yep. So it's
That's
basically, it'll
brilliant.
open either the second or third week of October, and it runs for, I think, 5 or 6 weeks that it's open for submissions.
Fantastic. That sounds excellent. And we'll share all those links. Thank you so much again, Shawn.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad that we got to
Yeah,
meet in New
it's
York
been
and
really fun.
then spend a little bit more time online.